Cross-examined? Wow, that's brilliant. Who said that Crimsbyans couldn't do a clever? It's like cross-examined, like questioning someone after someone already did, and it's like examining a cross, for some reason. Anyway, what are we examining crossly today? Something f***ing stupid, I hope.
The reason that we believe Christianity is true
is because you really want to, and that's okay, but don't expect me or anyone else to buy it just because you like the sound of it. And wait a second, isn't this called 4 reasons? Well, then I'm expecting a lot from you guys. A lot of silly, but a lot nonetheless. We got work to do, guys, and we have to work together. Otherwise, how will people know how ridiculous you are?
It's because the answer to 4 questions is yes.
Oh, okay. And of course, as we all know, the reality of the universe can only be discerned by simple binary ideas and nothing complicated that has an answer that goes more along the lines of "it depends." When do scientists ever say that? Apart from literally all the time.
How about the first question? Does truth exist?
Oh, god damn it, it's going to be this way, is it, Frank? I mean, it's the first question, and we already have something that is honestly answered. Well, it depends. It depends on how you define truth. It depends on what your standards for truth claims are. It depends on a bunch of things that cannot be simply answered yes or no. And I thought you were supposed to be one of the smart ones. Although, that's not saying much, is it really?
Obviously, you hear people say all the time, there is no truth, or you got your truth, I got my truth, all truth is relative.
But we just have to ignore all that nuance and just say that I am correct, everyone else is wrong, and I have the world's biggest brain, so everyone can just suck my turgid cock. But no, Frank, they can't. Mostly because they can't find it, but also because no one wants to. I mean, if these are your good ideas, then I don't even want to know what your bad ideas sound like. But I can be sure that they involve sticking it in a tub of industrial lubricant and sprinkling it with pine cones.
When somebody says there is no truth, you ought to ask that person a question.
Well, yeah, obviously, when someone comes out with the profound statement of, there is no truth, man, you then go, look, mate, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I am just here for a McMuffin and a cup of acceptable coffee so I can make it to f***ing lunchtime. Just can the day 1 A-level philosophy shit and give me some peace and quiet, please.
You ought to say, is that true?
Frank. Right, okay. So there is a difference between truth, TM, and something being correct. The phrase, there is no truth, is a simplification, but basically, even if you boil it down slightly less, it means there is no objective truth, aka for many things there is no way to know for 100% certain that something is the absolute definitive facts. But the claim, there is no truth, is at least to a relative amount of certainty, correct, and a good starting point of a lot of discussions. Again, this is like the most beginner basic shit in philosophy, and you are about to f*** it up, because you yourself said that you think, and I'm sure you have no way to prove, that all the questions you are here to ask today are answered with a yes.
Is it true that there's no truth? Because if it's true that there's no truth, the claim there is no truth can't be true, but it claims to be true.
Are anyone else's ears bleeding? Just mine? Okay. Frank, that's what we like to call sophistry. That was a whole heap of nothing purporting to be something of substance. In fact, that's the way I would talk to take the piss out of someone like you. And here you are, doing it unironically. Poe's law, will you ever stop being true? God damn it.
In other words, it's a self-defeating claim.
No, it's more an oversimplification that doesn't make sense because it's oversimplified. If you added just a little bit more thought and complexity to the idea, it would be pretty fucking obvious why it's basically quote-unquote true that quote-unquote truth doesn't exist. Unfortunately for you and your followers, you don't seem to understand how the words work. That or you are being dishonest. But I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and say that they're just morons. You're welcome.
Of course there's truth. If there was no truth, an atheist couldn't be right that there was no God.
Atheists, as a rule, don't say there is no God, you fucking dumbass. Atheists say that the claims you make in regards to his realness are spurious at best, because that's exactly what they are. Talk about fundamentally misunderstanding the basic claim. Told you. Idiot. Now, that's not to say if an atheist did say that there is no God, that is necessarily a true statement, because it's not. But there is plenty of truth to X, Y, or Z. Human claimed gods are false, because, well, let's just say you would think they would write better books.
So there is truth.
Nope, you definitely haven't established that. All that you have shown is that you don't understand basic concepts that they should have taught you in Ideas and Concepts for Dummies, although they don't do that book in 200 font with pictures on every other page, so I suppose I'm not that surprised. But damn it, this does not bode well for the rest of the video, does it?
Question number 2, does God exist?
Really? Really? You are going to do the old, me am definitely know this unknowable fact, and in a video that's only a few minutes long, when to answer a question like that would require countless hours of proof and explanation. Unless, of course, you don't have anything for either of them, when I suppose, yeah, me am believe it does only take a few seconds to say.
There are several arguments for the existence of God. Let me just give you one.
Arguments. Arguments. Not proof, not evidence, not empirical data, not research that points towards the existence of anything supernatural at all, just arguments. Well, there are several arguments for me, the surriest of 6, not being a total idiot. Sometimes I make a good point. I can science pretty okay. I have managed to open a bottle of ketchup without decapitating myself. But that doesn't mean I'm actually not an idiot. It means that you could say some things that make it sound like I'm not. But you would still be wrong. An argument for gods aren't even that good.
Even atheists today are admitting.
Uh-oh, what? Are we admitting that God does actually real? And we secretly hate him and love Satan and want to go to hell to be tortured forever because we dumb? Because anything less than that, and I really don't think is going to hold up old mate Frank. No, not Frank, the murder spaghetti. This Frank. You can tell by one of them being cold-blooded and the other one being a reptile. No, wait.
That space, matter, and time had a beginning out of nothing.
No, that's not anything. That's goddamn it, Frank. Right, atheism itself has no claims in that regard. So let's bump that idea right on the noggin before anything else. And science boy atheists don't say that either. Not in a there was no thing kind of way, or that there was not something. It's way more complicated than that. Especially when you just count the space we currently occupy, there's a good chance that it didn't come from nothing. And there was, in fact, a 4-4 time. But I'm far too stupid to get into that bag of fascinating complexity, so I'll just leave it with, no, Frank, quit being so wrong.
Well, think about this, friends.
Okay, stop right there, criminal scum. First off, don't imply you think, and second off, I am definitely not your friend. I don't even consider us acquaintances. Really, you're more like a person who exists on my planet without my permission, and I'm not sure how to get rid of you like a pesky rash that just won't go away no matter how much whiskey I pour onto it. And by pour onto it, I of course mean drink and ignore until it starts trying to grow legs and a face.
If space, matter, and time had a beginning out of nothing, whatever created space, matter, and time can't be made of space, matter, and time.
Well, again, aside from the fact that no one who knows is actually saying that, so what? That wouldn't prove a god, that would prove a different state of being that doesn't apply to this universe. Time is, and matter is, just the way things work around these parts. There's no reason to believe that a different universe couldn't have alternative properties. And one of those properties farts out universes with different properties. And that universe farter is somehow an eternal thing. And hey, maybe you want to call that God. But you could just as easily call it Gasorino and it would still just be as good.
Now, when you think about a spaceless, timeless, immaterial, powerful, personal, intelligent cause,
Excuse me, what the hell was that, Frank? We had timeless, spaceless, and immaterial, fine, but where do you get off simply adding powerful, personal, or intelligent to that mix? And all at the same time. That comes from literally nowhere, and find me the atheismos who admit that shit. Because I'll bet you literally none of them do. See, now this I can't even chalk up to you being a moron, because it's something you had to add to the mix out of whole cloth.
Who do you think of?
Your mum. But then I'm always thinking about her no matter what I'm doing. Fishing, shopping, your dad. Doesn't matter what activity, there she is telling me what a disappointment you are. Honestly, I'm kind of getting sick of it at this point. And can you tell her to put some goddamn clothes on, please?
God. Now, we don't know it's the Christian God at this point, but we know it's a theistic God, a being who's beyond the world, who created the world.
Nope, and nope. I mean, more than anything, your assertion that there is a being, singular, whether that be that there is as many as one, or simply only one, is something that you literally couldn't possibly know, and you are just asserting that without a shred of evidence, as is your custom.
The third question is, are miracles possible?
Oh, well, finally, one that can be answered with one word. No. And if we want to use more words, it's absolutely categorically not. And if we want to use even more words, we can say, based on the miracles defined as a thing that happens with nothing but a supernatural explanation as its cause, then there have been no such events in recorded history that are anything but either lies or complete misunderstandings of what actually happened. So no, certainly not from the evidence.
Obviously, Christianity can't be true if miracles are not possible.
I mean, it's not the only thing it needs in order to not be the big false, and none of the things it claims to be true, especially in regards to supernatural god shit, appear to be true. But whatever, I'm getting sidetracked. Go on then, dazzle me with these true factualness of miracles, and if you dare say birds and sunsets, I'm gonna eat my fucking legs.
But the greatest miracle in the Bible has already occurred, and we have scientific evidence for it.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but no you don't. I don't even need to hear it to know that it's total bullshit. Seriously, there's basically nothing in the Bible, at least of its meaningful claims, that has one scrap of scientific evidence behind it. Come on, if it did, you would be tossing around that shit like confetti. Well, unless it's something stupid that just doesn't do what you say it does when, well, yeah.
What's that? I just mentioned it. The creation of the universe out of nothing.
Oh, f*** me. No, that's your thing, and there is absolutely no evidence that a god of any description did that. F*** me, Frank. You really are just as terrible at this as, well, every single other one of you guys. It's like you're in a club for how to make the worst argument ever. Christ.
If Genesis 1:1 is true, every other verse in the Bible is at least possible.
Got some bad news for you there, Frank. Like, even arguing that the universe came from nothing, that does literally nothing for the Bible's claims. The Bible claims that mankind was made by God, and you would cite that, the existence of humans as evidence for that, but it's not. I mean, I can claim I invented whiskey, because whiskey exists, but I didn't, no matter how much I claim that it all belongs to me. I mean, it does all belong to me, but for very different reasons.
Because if there's a being that can create the universe out of nothing, can he do whatever he wants inside the universe? If he can create the whole show out of nothing?
No? Why do you think that? Even if somehow we could prove that, it still only proves that he could start a universe. That's the only skill that has been shown to be at that point. We still need to prove they are able to do literally anything else. I mean, if this being exists outside of our universe and could cause it from outside, what makes you think they could actually go into it? Perhaps they are locked out of their creation, if they even know they had done it in the first place. You see how many layers of assumptions you have to make in order for anything you believe to even have the possibility of being true?
Of course. He can resurrect Jesus from the dead, or walk on water, or part the Red Sea. He can do any of that.
But, according to your own doctrine, he is completely incapable of achieving something as simple as deciding not to damn everyone to suffering forever without a set of convoluted bullshit steps that sound more like the plot to a fucking heist movie than and then it happened immediately, 'cause it's what he wanted. That should be how all stories from an all-powerful being go. It's really weird that they don't.
So the final question, the fourth question, which gets us all the way to the Christian God is...
Oh, here we go. I mean, it's been no's all around so far, but hell, I'll humour you, Frank. Although it's not like that's what the entire fucking internet hasn't been doing for years of your existence. Christ knows why, the man is completely incompetent at this shit. But whatever, go ahead. Hell, maybe you'll impress me. Hey, I'm not even being facetious. He could totally be impressive. Lee Dumb, just watch.
Is the New Testament reliable enough to show us that Jesus rose from the dead?
Oh no, it really isn't.
The reason we believe in Christianity is because an event occurred, the resurrection.
Correction. The reason you believe in Christianity, aside from, because someone told you to believe it, so you do, but in that specific regards, it's because a portion of a book written a couple of thousand years ago said that's what happened. Although the actual accounts of the event in question were in fact written years, if not decades after the fact. But as we all know, the second/third-hand accounts of events that maybe happened, but who can even remember what they had for lunch yesterday, are the most accurate source of information on the entire planet.
Now, I have to ask you this. Why would the Jewish writers of the New Testament, all were Jewish with the exception of Luke, why would they invent a resurrected Jesus?
Because they were mistaken? Or they were trying to start their own fork of a religion? Or they were just writing their own fan fiction based on the stories that they already liked? Maybe they just thought it would be f***ing hilarious. There's a million reasons why humans will do f***ing anything. But there has never been an action taken by a human that can be proven to be directly as a result of the desires of any deity on the face of this planet or universe or even omniverse. And there's probably a really good reason for that. Perhaps something to do with them not being real. Anyway, 0 out of 10, terrible reasons to believe Christianity is real. Come back with some better ones or don't come back at all. Now get out of my earth.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the